Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a video here for a remake of a horror film that I've never seen from 1960. This is the 1995 John Carpenter remake. Yeah, the guy who created Halloween and The Thing and They Live. I love John Carpenter. I've always wanted to see this film, and that movie in this little 4-pack I have is Village of the Damned, right here. The Killer Kids in Tow. Yeah, it's a killer kid movie, kinda not, but mainly, you know what I mean? In concept, let's say. But it leans more into like a sci-fi, supernatural mystery type of thing, too. I was curious what this movie was going to be like outside of just killer kids. Of course, on the cover there, they have red eyes. Wasn't really sure if it was like a demonic possession thing, and you can kind of say that about it, but not really. Anyway, never saw the original. I've never seen this one. I've always wanted to, and I think both are based on a book. I don't know what it's called, but still. Essentially, Village of the Damned, excuse me, I messed up the title. My tongue wants to just roll all over my face. Basically, this is a story about a town who just one day, everybody passes out. And if you go over this certain line, either street leading in and out of town, you'll pass out too. No one knows if it's gas or what. Nobody knows. But eventually, hours and hours later, everybody in the town wakes up, and it turns out that 10 particular women are actually pregnant at the town. Some of them that are old, some that are young, some that shouldn't be able to have kids. And 9 babies out of the 10 are born that all have like snowy white hair. And they all kind of look similar too. And the interesting thing is, there's 5 boys and 5 girls, but one of them in the womb of one lady actually dies. And the doctors don't really know what happened here. I mean, some of the people are in situations, again, like I said, that shouldn't even be able to have kids, but they all know, and they can feel it in their bones, that something supernatural has happened here. And it's kind of a really, for me, for an hour and 35-minute long movie, it says 38 on IMDb, but it flies by, it's so quick. Really, for like an hour and 30, 40-minute movie, the first third of this film, I loved. I was so into it. I didn't understand anything that was going on with the mystery, even though I knew it would eventually tie into the kids. But the kind of random pregnancy thing was super cool. Now, when the kids are born, they begin to exhibit powers. Maybe telekinetic, I would say, not so much telepathic, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple of weeks, forgive me, since I saw this. Been meaning to get around to coming back to the channel and making reviews, and this is one of the ones I really wanted to hit on, because it's such a unique, important film made by one of the best horror film directors of all time. One of the best film directors in general of all time. But after that first third of the movie, it kind of loses me. I guess I'll talk into the cast now. Well, yeah, I guess I could. It kind of goes into a little bit of a supernatural direction, in more of a supernatural sci-fi way, that I really hated, and it kind of ruined the movie for me. And then towards the end of the film, it felt like the resolution in the final act was so rushed, and I just did not like that at all. I'm gonna be honest with you, it ruined the movie for me. But again, that first like third or half of the movie, it was good. It was really engaging. I was really sucked into it. I was having a good time. And it was keeping my curiosity, I think, is the best thing about it. That nice little mystery. But there's a lot of problems that come with it. I'll get to that in a moment. But again, I'll go to the cast. Christopher Reeve. I think this is the last movie, if I remember correctly, that he made before he had his horrible injury that paralyzed him for the rest of his life. Christopher Reeve was Superman, like probably the most notable Superman of all time, from the Richard Donner movie and movies, technically, if you count his director's cut of Superman 2, that originally got scrapped, now it's on DVD. But Christopher Reeve is always good. I really love him in a lot of movies, but I'm not like the biggest fan of his Superman stuff, so I like him from like Somewhere in Time and different things like that. I think he's good here with the script that he's given. There's really not a whole lot to work with. Again, after a while, the script kind of fizzles out for me, and so does the movie, for that matter. Kirstie Alley is in this as a scientist or something. I forgot exactly what she's supposed to be, but she's involved in here. You kind of have like a budding relationship, friendship thing going on with her and Christopher Reeve, if I remember correctly. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, is in here as a reverend in the town, and he's kind of the preacher everybody seeks to come after to find out more and more about these kids and what could be wrong with them. Is God allowing this as punishment of the town and stuff? There's a little bit of that in a very Stephen King way. It feels like Carpenter, who's adapted Stephen King stuff before, like Christine, it feels like he really took some inspiration from Stephen King writing this, or working on this film, I would say, and probably the script writers too. The Mark Hamill Reverend guy really feels like a Stephen King character brought to the screen, and Hamill always gives a good performance. I think he's a better voice actor than real life, in the flesh actor, but he's good here. I liked him for the time he was in the movie. Everybody's mostly fine. I think there was one actress, if I remember, that was a little whatever, but the script ain't great anyway, so again, it's not really her fault. The look of the movie, I really like it. I think it's nice looking for what it is. The places they shot at, very beautiful. I think it looks like an Arizona type of town. It may take place in Arizona. Again, I don't remember, but it was cool. It had like this Arizona, Colorado look to it. I really dug that. Now we'll get to some of the things that began to turn me off. So once the kids are born and they begin to exhibit these powers, these kids are very strange. They almost have like their own cult, and they actually walk in pairs, boy and girl, boy and girl, boy and girl, all the way down their little line of whatever they are. But they seem to be connected in a supernatural way, that they can read each other's thoughts. If one of them is in panic or pain, the other ones know it. They always come to the rescue. But it's not darling and developed in a way that I think, again, somebody like Stephen King would do. It's more of like these kids are a menace, and we don't know if they're demons or what, right? You're not going to like the answer you're going to get. If you don't think it's stupid, I'm sorry. It's way out there. Like modern day History Channel type of out there. You know what I mean? They begin to, as they show these powers, there's CGI in this movie. And I do it with the air quotes because their eyes will light up different colors. And it's awful. If you've ever seen Stephen King's The Golden Years TV movie, you know what I'm talking about. That kind of CGI is in this movie, and it's hard to look at. This is one of those films that when people talk about movies in the later parts of Carpenter's career that killed his career, like Ghosts of Mars, which I reviewed, or this, or really any of that late 90s stuff, even the early 2000s stuff he did, like, wasn't it 2010 when he did The Ward? I think The Ward is better than this, but not by much. You know, like, that's a really okay movie from what I remember it being. But this and Ghost of Mars, I think there's no doubt in my mind why Carpenter's career collapsed later on, which is sad because I love the guy. But this is a contributing factor, and for a good reason, I would say. The kind of color of the eyes and stuff, the way it kind of floats over their face, almost like modern day CGI does when they try to put somebody, like an actor's head on a person who's clearly not them's body. That's what the eyes floating around on the face of people looks like, and it's total shit. It's awful. Some of those CGI effects are embarrassing. I mean, truly embarrassing. For a John Carpenter movie, the music, it's not really that great either. I don't think it was really all that engaging. I mean, I think Carpenter made this music like usual, but it was not as good as I hoped it would be. It didn't really save this movie in any way. It's a mess. Village of the Damned is not really a movie I recommend to you. Even if you like the subgenre of killer kid movies or kind of mild sci-fi movies, very, very light sci-fi-ish movies like this, even if the premise sounds good to you, I don't really think I recommend it to you. I don't think you're going to dig it. I think you're kind of going to hate it in a lot of ways. Which is why, if I had to rate Village of the Damned's remake from 1995 on a 5-star basis, I don't think I could give this more than like a 2 out of 5 stars. I did not like it, despite a lot of the good things in it for that first third of the movie, or even up to half of the movie. Yeah, it had some great curiosity. Yeah, it had some solid performances. Yeah, you have a couple of good leads with Christopher Reeve and Kirstie Alley and Mark Hamill. But it doesn't save this movie in any way, shape, or form. It just can't. With what the movie becomes over time, the answers you get from what's actually going on, what's up with these kids, no, it's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm fairly certain that the original would probably be better. I would almost bet on it. It's a black and white film if I think correctly, if I saw that correctly on IMDb. I would be willing to bet that that one's going to be good. This one, hell no. Don't even waste your time. I'm sorry I even brought it up to you. I just wanted to warn you ahead of time in case you decided to go check it out sometime. Or if you did and you're coming back to see other people ramble and rant about it, because it deserves it. Village of the Damned is terrible. Don't even waste your time. It's not a complete loss, but by the end of it, it is. So it's not really worth checking out to begin with. Anyway, what did you think about Village of the Damned, the original or this remake? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, guys. I'd love to hear all your thoughts about all this stuff. And what's your favorite killer kid movie? Let me know that down below, too. Thank you guys again. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.